Welcome to the Deadass Podcast. Alrighty, legends, welcome back to the Deadass Podcast. Today is a special edition of the podcast, one that you will be able to view on YouTube as well. We are going to be doing some series of episodes where we will include video footage of this available free on YouTube. Special stories from amazing people, and it could be any story in particular. And today, the first one that we're going to do that's available on YouTube is the story of the VPSS, the Castle Hill car that Peter Brock and Tony Scott drove in the 12-hour at Bathurst in 1993. And here we have Mr. Stephen Bell, who is a regular host on the podcast, who is currently going through and sharing his story, a motorcycling around the world adventure that he took part in, which you can hear all those episodes, which is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major podcasts through Deadass Podcast. So, Mr. Stephen Bell, how are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you, Brian.
That's good, mate. Now, look, just to give the listeners, the people who are listening, but also now we've got the people, the viewers.
Yep.
Mate, you've decorated firstly. You've got some memorabilia here of this fantastic car. There's an amazing story behind this, mate. And it came about in a general conversation that you and I were having. Now, we've done multiple episodes when we've sat down and leading up to the beginning of these episodes, we'll talk about anything in general. And you just started talking about this car and about your involvement in it, about how it all worked and what was going on, the whole story behind it. It was absolutely amazing. And I said to you, look, that is an episode in itself. And it's the whole lead up to it, how it all worked. It's just unbelievable. And mate, I'm honored that you've come into, and before the episode started, we actually sat and watched some footage of the car leading up to the race, the race itself, and some of the news articles that was presented about it as well. Absolutely amazing stuff, mate. So where do we start with this? Because it's I guess where, who, what, where, why, all those things that come with it.
Well, thanks, Brian, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I guess, Brian, we probably should start at the start.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And really the start was Philip Richards, who was my grade school friend. We've known each other since 1965.
Wow.
In grade 1 together at the Good Sisters up at the convent at Wandle.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah, sure.
And anyway, we have known each other for all of those years, and we're both of each other's oldest friends.
Oh, cool.
And he reminded me that the other day.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he
nice.
Yeah. And Brian, we kicked around all through our lives, and of course he left Rockhampton in 1974, I believe, went down to Mars Brothers in Brisbane and boarded there, and I continued on. I got a job I left school at grade 10.
Yep.
I went and got a job in the railway as an apprentice fitter, and we lost contact with each other a bit because he was down there, I was up here. Anyway, back in about 1986, we sort of re-met.
Yeah.
And actually walking back from church.
Oh, really?
One day, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway, he said, "How you going?" I said, "Good. What's been happening?" "Oh, good. Everything good in Brisbane?" Yeah. Anyway, I'd said to him, "Oh, look, I've been down to Bathurst."
Yeah, right.
And he said, "Oh, I said I was down there in 1983, and then I was back there in 85." And I said, "Do you want to go?" And he said, "Oh, yeah." He was a law student. He was doing a degree in law and a degree in commerce at the same time.
Oh, wow. Very smart man.
Well, that's what I said all along. And me, just a fitter and turner in the railway, I said to Phil, you're so much smarter than what I am. And I keep saying it. And but anyway, the opportunity arose in 1987.
Okay.
He got some time off from study. And we went down to Bathurst, and I'll never forget, Brian, and this is the honest truth. I basically led Fildo by the hand up over the mound on the main straight at Bathurst during a practice session on Friday. Anyway, I don't know whether I suppose we're talking to motorsport fans.
Yes.
Warren Cullen drove the Kmart Commodore.
Okay, yep.
It was blue and red striped, a VC Commodore, Group C, with a lovely set of Simmons wheels on it. Anyway, actually that car's been restored.
Has it really?
Yeah, they call it Elvis.
Elvis.
It's had that many hits. but anyway, Warren Cullen came into Murray's corner and flattened it in second and pulled third going underneath the bridge.
Oh, wow.
And I'll tell you what, that normally aspirated V8 reverberating off the walls out of a dump pipe out the left-hand side of the car sounded that crisp and that sweet. And Fildo's a car nut, and so am I.
Yeah.
Anyway, I watched that sink in to him, and we watched that car pull back into second gear and go up through Hell Corner and up Mountain Straight. And Fildo was speechless. And the car had just disappeared over the hump. And he turned to me and said, "One day we're going to race a car here."
That's cool.
And I said, Fildo, Fildo, you're a law student with no money. You got an old VW. And I am a tradesman in the railway. I'm a fitter and turner in the railway workshops in Rocky. How are we ever going to do this? How are we ever going to get the money to do it? 6 years later.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Brian, Australian motorsport and the Australian people in general, dreams do come true.
Yeah.
They do.
Yep.
And if you work hard enough and if you strive long enough and hard enough, stuff like this happens.
Yeah.
We're ordinary people. And here we are with an extraordinary situation for us.
It is really inspiring when you hear it, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Good things happen, Brian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good things happen to people who plan, who put themselves out there, who take a risk, who believe in things.
Yeah.
It does happen. And, this car was a culmination of a lot of people who believed in things, believed that you could do it.
Yeah.
Believed that, we mightn't be experts at it, like you and me doing this.
That's what we said.
But we're having a go.
Of course we are, definitely. Yeah.
And that is how this whole thing happened. And that's how this little Commodore got to write itself in the record books of Australian motor racing history.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so for the people, so you said, okay, we're going to do it one day.
We're going to do it one day, right. And here it is.
Here it is. So when did the first bit of go, I think we're onto it. I think this is the right time to do it.
Well, you know what? I was just working in the railway.
Yep.
And Philip had left the law.
Okay.
Because he'd found that it wasn't for him. He was doing family law. It was stressful.
Oh, I could imagine.
It was hard.
Yeah.
And I remember I said to him one time, this is down at Emu Park, he came up for holiday. I said, "Phil, are you losing your hair?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "That's not good." I said, "Are you all right?" And he said, "Well, it's a bit stressful what I'm doing." And so I said, "Well, look, there's nothing wrong with changing tack."
Yeah.
And so it was a couple of months later. He sort of, Phildo's a very quiet achiever. He doesn't, he likes to have his cards close to his chest and he likes his privacy, is Phildo.
Yeah, fair enough.
And which is a good thing. And but anyway, I was pleased when he said, "Look, I've got out of the law because I've been asked to go land developing with Dan Murphy."
Oh, nice.
He owned a company called Jamworth Proprietary Limited and trading as Mercorp. And so they went developing land.
Yep.
And Dan was a kind of a guy that had a little difficulty trying to relate to people in authority.
Yeah, okay.
He was actually his background was an electrician in a sugar mill in Bundaberg.
Ah.
That's what he did.
Yeah, right.
Until he went land developing. He took a punt.
Took a punt. Yep. Took a risk.
Punt. That's what he did.
Yep.
And but he found that he needed somebody smooth and somebody smart to talk to councils and lawyers and bankers and all the people that you need.
Someone to have a bit of experience in that too.
In order to get money.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
To buy stuff.
Yep.
So he said to Philip, can you come and work for me? And Philip said, yeah, okay, well, what have I got to do? And he said, well, you got to do the talking. So Phildo was his front man.
Yeah.
And basically the years went along, 1990, 1990, I believe it was, or 89, they decided to do a development called Castle Hill on the northern banks of the Pine River in Brisbane.
Yeah, right.
Now, there's a lot of developments in Brisbane and a lot of people live down there, but this one was different in the fact that Philip and Dan are sort of traditional.
Yeah, okay.
They like to do things well, and me the same. And so they said, well, why don't we make it special? Why don't we make it a Federation-style estate? Have all those lovely, pin-tuck bricked houses with the finials and the gutter ornaments, and have cobble streets.
Yep.
And sort of gas type looking lighting, or electric, but it looked like gas lights, and have it like that, the teens era.
Yeah.
And you know what? There was a lot of interest in it.
Was there really?
A lot of interest, yeah. And we talked, we looked at the movie, about the toys and Gary Dean. Well, of course, he was the earth mover.
Ah, okay.
That carved up all the allotments and levelled all the ground. And
yep.
So anyway, things had gone along. They'd invested a lot of money in this.
Yeah.
And so in order to get back a bit of return, Dan was a car nut. He had a lovely Porsche 928S.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And Phildo, of course, was champing at the bit. He had a VW that I welded the floor in. It was all rusted out. Oh, yeah. But anyway, he had he bought a new VK.
Okay,
Commodore.
yeah, nice.
Got a bit of money. And anyway, Phildo was always keenly interested, in cars. And so they thought, well, gee whiz, this 12-hour
yep.
that they first, I think it was 1991, they thought, well, this is something that, is very close to what Bathurst originally started out as.
Oh, good point, yeah.
And it wasn't as costly as the October race.
Yep.
Because those Group A cars or Group C cars were, hideously expensive.
Yeah.
And so they thought, well, maybe we could put a car in, we could enter it with and put our signage on it and get a bit of exposure for our division, our subdivision.
Yeah.
And so that's basically how it came about. So then, of course, Dan had bought a series of, now don't hold this again, Mitsubishi Sigmas for their salesmen's cars.
Yeah, did they get much selling? Did they get them out of the driveway?
Well, Philip is a very polished man. That's him here.
Ah, okay. Yep.
And Philip knows how to present things, and Philip knows how to make something the best that it can be. And so he said to Dan, you know what? We bought all these Mitsubishi Sigmas for our salesmen. At the end of the day, we get virtually nothing for them when we trade them in.
Yeah, of course.
And they're not really an out there sort of car. We want a Castle Hill to be, we want it to exude some style. We want it to exude some, some sort of leave a nice footprint,
Yes.
So we said, what about we go and buy some Holden SSs? They're a popular car, powerful, they look nice.
Yeah.
And, they're impressive.
Yeah.
And when we finish with them, they're very saleable.
Yes.
And in actual fact, if you buy a lot of them, Ross Gray up in Bundaberg would buy them back.
Oh, really?
At the same price
Oh, wow.
that they paid for them new. So actually, yes, you expended more money, but you got more back. So you didn't lose.
And you're doing it in style.
And you're doing it in style, Brian. That's right. You were doing it in style. So with that in mind, we thought, Phil and Dan thought, okay, let's see if we can put a car in.
Yeah, okay.
So what would it be? And so I'm thinking, Porsche, too expensive. Falcon, let's not do that. A Mitsubishi, a Toyota, we don't know much about them.
Yep.
Well, a Holden, I think, So who knows anything about Holdens? So anyway, they found out that George Shepherd from Rally Art and from Road Safe Suspension lives in Daisy Hill, just down the street from Dick Johnson.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yep.
So they approached him and said, we know that you've set up the Round Australia Commodores for the Round Australia trial in 1979, and you were involved with the Holden dealer team. Could you set up a car for us for Bathurst? He said, you know what George is like, big buck teeth, and he calls a spade a spade.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yep.
So anyway, George said, well, yeah, okay, well, you need to find an SS Commodore. Right. Okay. And you're going to get to drive it because that's important.
Yeah, of course it is.
And they've gone, we better find somebody. So they knew Tony Scott.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know whether listeners know, but Tony's brother, Gary, drove the Nissan Bluebird Turbo with George Fury in the Group C races in the early 80s.
Oh, okay. Wow.
He was a very good steerer.
Yep.
And their father, Glenn Scott, was killed in an open-wheeler accident in 1970 at Lakeside.
Oh, true.
Yeah, went underneath an Armco rail. And yeah. But anyway, Scotty, very good steerer and Group N champion. Yep. So he was racing a 6-cylinder Commodore at the time.
Yep.
So anyway, they thought, well, there is our racing driver. Now we need somebody to, get us some publicity.
Yes.
Who do we get? So anyway, they thought, what about John Farnham? He just released The Voice.
Really?
Yes.
So how do you even get in touch with someone like John Farnham at the time? Like, you know what I mean? Because he was right up there.
Yep. Well, they rang up Glenn Wheatley.
Okay.
He was John's manager.
Oh, okay. So they just gave him a buzz.
Glenn Wheatley.
Yep.
Rang him up.
Yep.
And they said, would you think that John would be interested in driving a racing car? And he said, oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So they went to see John and Glenn, and they've gone, yeah. What have we got to do? And they said, well, at the time, there was going to be a 2-car team.
Oh, okay.
There was going to be two Commodores.
Oh.
Now, Brian, I've got all this written out,
Yeah.
but I don't know whether you want to read it or do we want to just...
totally up to you, mate. Like, if there's excerpts there that you might want to read that might refresh you, you're more than welcome to. Or
Righto. Well, I don't know whether it sounds better if I read it or we just talk about it.
Oh, totally up to you, mate. This is the good thing. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, so they went to Melbourne.
Yep.
Met with them and said, yes, great. Just tell us what we've got to do.
Yeah.
So Philip said, okay, well, you need to come up and you'll need to learn how to drive a car.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But we really don't need you to pedal this car too hard.
Okay.
It's essentially the exposure.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily need to win the race, but we would like some exposure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to say, well, I wonder what his driving ability was like prior to that.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
You'll soon find out why.
Right. So they decided, okay, well, we've got an interest here.
Yep.
We've got somebody here. They were going to form, let's see. Yeah, they were going to form a two-car team, and I just forget the other driver. I've got it written here. Actually.
Was it the third driver?
It was the third driver. Yeah. Anyway, I suppose we can cut this.
Yeah, of course, so. That's why I'm going to edit. Yeah.
Because I'm sort of I'm missing a few bits here. But
Don't worry about it, mate. It's our show.
yeah, right. Righto. Yeah, I don't know whether I should read it or not.
No, you do what you want to do, mate.
Okay.
You run with it.
Righto.
Either way, it's sounding great.
All right. Yeah,
So,
righto. Okay,
You're flying with it. It flows good.
Okay, so they've gone down there, but the main drama is they don't have a car.
Okay, so they don't have a car.
So
Yep.
we've got a driver, we haven't got a car.
All right.
So,
we've got one driver.
so George has said, well, if you're going to get a Commodore,
Yep.
get a Holden, you need to get a VP Series
VP.
2.
Because when you were doing this part, was it 91, 92, 90,
This-
90, 90?
okay,
Because when VPs came out in 91, didn't they? First.
VPs came out in 1991,
Yeah.
And then in 1992, they changed the rear end
Okay.
about midway through 92.
Yeah.
So he said, what you got to do is you've got to find a Series 2
Series 2 VP.
VP, one with the IRS, independent rear suspension. So that was okay.
Yeah.
So Phildo said, well, we've got a lot of Series 2 SSs. We've bought them for the company, remember?
Ooh, nice. Yes. Okay.
Unfortunately, so that these salesmen wouldn't thrash these cars,
Yes.
they were all autos.
Oh, were they really?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Don't buy a manual because otherwise they'll be laying patches all over the place.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So there was only one manual in amongst the whole lot,
Yep.
and it was Phildo's car.
Oh, so it was the boss's car.
It was the boss's car.
Yes.
Right. So George said, well, I'm looking at my watch. April of 1993 is coming along.
Yeah.
You better sort it out. But if you've got one, I think you better bring it over. So Phildo's gone, but it's my normal road car. It's done 16,000 kilometres. And George said, never mind about that. It's run in.
Yep.
He said, it'll be fine. So we dropped it over there one Saturday morning.
To George's place.
To George's place. Phildo and I got in it and drove 500 BQV, the registration number of it,
Yep.
over to George's place at Daisy Hill.
Yeah. And you just left it there with him.
Well, kind of.
Kind of.
Because George has said to Phildo, okay, got the car. Now, who is going to build it with me? I need somebody to give me a hand.
Oh, of
Have
course.
you got anybody mechanically minded? Because I can't do it all. And Phildo has looked at me and said, well, Steve.
What are you doing?
Well, do you think you could? Do you think you could do it? And George said, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a fitter and turner in the railway workshops in Rocky. And George says, oh, geez. Running railway worker. He said, I tell you what, Philip, you send him down,
Yep.
you fly him down of a weekend. If he's no good,
Yep.
I'll boot him.
Yep. Oh, shoot. So you got a bit of pressure on you.
Fair
mate.
enough, fair
Yep.
enough. So Phildo said, well, do you think that'll work? He said, well, have you got anybody else in mind? And Phildo said, no. So that's how I came to be involved.
So how many weekends did you go down there?
Ooh. I reckon I flew down there 11.
Holy.
something like that.
You're even getting your frequent flyer miles up, mate.
Yeah, well, I don't think I even had a frequent flyer
I don't even
card.
know they had it back then, did they?
1990 and end of 1991.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because I'd come back from my ride around the world.
Oh, so you completed it? Yes, of course you have. Yeah, it would have been not long after.
This was now 1992. I should say.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, 1992. The car was built on the 2nd of September 1992.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. So about 6 months.
About 6 months prior to when
the
we raced
racing.
it. So it was virtually a new car.
Yeah. Wow.
So Dan had a very nice Porsche 928.
Okay.
At the
yeah.
time.
Right.
And so Dan, of course, had ideas maybe of driving.
Ah. Okay. So he had. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, but then that got quashed.
Yeah. Reality kicked in.
Yeah. And then anyway, so what happened then was I was down there building the car with George, going down every weekend. George made the announcement, we need to have a roll cage and a fuel cell.
Yep.
So we packed the car up and shipped it down to Bond Roll Cages in Sydney for an aluminium cage and a fuel cell. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but Bond Roll Cages was brand new.
Ah.
That car has got Bond Roll Cage number 1.
You're kidding me.
Number 1.
Number one. Unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it then came back.
Yep.
And so George and I took the diff apart. We had to lock the diff up, give it about 350 Newton meters of breakaway torque, essentially lock the rear wheels.
Okay.
So it'll drive through a corner.
Yep.
Then shot peen all the axles because the stress of when you pick a wheel up, because that's what the problem was with Holden differentials previously.
Yes.
And that is why George stipulated get an IRS.
Okay.
Because a banjo type live axle, like for instance in a Tirana LH, the same sort of setup that was in HQ Holdens.
Yep.
As soon as they picked the wheel up and put it back down on the ground, they snapped the axle all the time.
Okay.
And that's what the LH Tiranas did all the time. At Oran Park, they broke axles all the time. You pick a wheel up, you put it back down and breaks an axle. So we said, we don't want to do that because the reason we've selected the SS over the Group A is this proper differential, not the leftovers from a HQ Holden, behind a more powerful fuel-injected V8. He said the Group A has got a better body kit. It'll go through the air better, but the differential will let it down because I tell you what, Brian, when you cart 120 litres of fuel up a hill in the boot of a car, it's 630 feet. Elevation from Main Street to McPhillamy Park.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And you got to haul it
up there.
And then you got to stop it.
Yeah,
the inertia when you come back down the hill.
Very good point.
And it's all acting on the diff and the axles. And so, George had simply said, you know what? All those Group A's are good, but they won't last till after lunch on the day.
It's just the one thing made the difference.
The one thing. But I'll tell you what, Brian, any car at Bathurst is not a car breaker, but it's the ultimate test of a car.
Yep.
If there's some little idiosyncrasy or weakness in it, you'll find it out immediately at Bathurst.
And a lot of those cars did.
But you know what? This one survived.
Yep.
It did it. Because it was selected. I
just like the way that Peter was describing it when he was having that speech at Castle Hill Estate.
Yes.
And the way that he said that, it's not exotic.
No.
It's an everyday car, but it's built purpose and it's just reliable, and nothing fancy,
Right.
but it would do the job.
Have you ever seen a Porsche as a taxi?
No. That's a great analogy. That's a really good analogy.
And that's what he was getting at.
Yep.
We were trying to make something that was designed to tow a caravan and go to a shopping centre to race around Bathurst and look good with once all these exotics running around with us. And to have it fail, is a bad look.
Yes.
For Holden, for, everybody that's involved with it.
Yes.
You've got to get something to do something that it just isn't designed to do, and you've got to be smart.
Yes.
When you do it. And George Shepherd had that, and Peter alluded to it.
Yes.
That is why I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit now. So to drive the car was Tony Scott and John Farnham.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because initially we're hearing Tony Scott and John Farnham, but later on down the track, obviously, it's quite known that Peter Brock was the one that drove it.
Right.
And there's a reason behind that.
And the reason is, Brian, is that John never told Jill, his wife.
Yeah. There's this old saying, like, never ask for permission.
Yes.
Always ask for forgiveness.
Beg for forgiveness. Yeah, I got you. And that was,
it was his downfall.
A downfall as far as John went.
Yeah.
But John was talking to Peter because they were neighbours, basically.
How crazy is that too? Just to think that literally
during those years.
Well, this is one of the crazy parts about the story, is the fact that initially that you were looking for John Farnham. The fact that you even chose John Farnham in the first place is crazy. Let alone the second crazy fact that his neighbour is Peter Brock. Like, iconically one of the best, the best person, one of the GOATs when it comes to Bathurst is his neighbour.
But, on a little small block, he was just another bloke on a tractor.
That's true.
That's what Peter used to drive, a Kubota tractor. That's what he had. Yeah. He used to go and pick up sticks and logs and burn things and everything, like anybody else on the land,
Yeah.
And it was just one of those conversations where, how you going? Oh, good. What have you been up to? Oh, I'm going to race a car at Bathurst. Oh, really? Whose car? Oh, Phil Richards and Dan Murphy up in Brisbane. Oh, yeah. What is it? Oh, it's a Commodore, a VP, V8. Oh, who's setting it up? Oh, fella Shepherd, George Shepherd. And so with that, of course, Peter Brock has ears pricked.
Yeah.
Because we know that George Shepherd, Harry Firth and Colin Bond were HDT.
Yeah.
And it was those guys that employed Peter Brock.
Yes.
In 1969.
Yeah.
And, of course, it was under Harry's guidance that Peter raced in 1969 with Des West.
Okay.
In that HT 350 Monaro.
Wasn't it amazing hearing him describe how he drove that?
Yeah.
In that speech that he had at the Castle Hill estate?
Yeah.
Saying that it literally had no brakes.
It had no brakes. And you know what? Neither did this.
Did it? Okay, right. Yep.
And Brian, we're talking about two cars that are the same, only 40-something years apart.
Yeah.
This car and that HT Monaro was exactly the same. They were a car that wasn't designed to do it.
Yes. That's a good point. Yeah,
it was. Good point. Because the Monaro, Des West says, they drove it to Bathurst, they took the plates off it and stuck it in the top of the toolbox, top tray of the toolbox. And it still had the rego sticker, and they drove it around registered.
Yeah, there's this crazy video that you see in that DVD where it's the in-car camera and Brock's going through Bathurst, and you can still see the registration sticker
the
in the window.
Sticker is still on this car.
Oh, look, there you go. That's that same one.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
You know why? Because it was still a company car. Now,
You imagine that.
well, it gets better.
Yeah.
And it is that during the race, I mean, Fildo had to entertain people. Mm-hmm. Fildo and Dan, you know, we were down in the pits, but they had their corporate box.
Yep.
Up, you know, up
Of course
above,
they would have.
up above, yeah.
Definitely.
And they had, you know, exotic things like soldiers on horseback and all that sort of stuff. And plebs were down in the garage, everybody was up there. Well, and Fildo was made aware that the guy from Asander was there, Asander Finance.
Oh, yeah. Asander Finance, yeah.
Asander Finance. Anyway, he was looking around, you know, he said, can I come down and have a look at the car? Oh, yeah, come down and have a look at the car. So anyway, he's come down and he's looked at it and he stood there and he's gone, 500 BQV. He said, that car's still under finance. So not only was it registered, but it was still under finance.
And you got the finance guy
Yep.
knew that straight up.
Peter never knew.
Didn't he?
Scotty didn't care. George didn't care. It was just a piece of metal to George.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a car.
Oh, that's so funny.
And the girls just simply kept paying the registration
Yeah.
on all the other SSs and this one too.
Yeah, of course.
They didn't know where it was.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't have any idea. I don't think it's out doing sales calls.
But here it is. Here it is being decked out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So pretty much John's like, okay, look, I'm in trouble with the missus. She's refusing.
Well, what's happened, what's turned out was that Peter has gone to John to say, look, do you think this is a good idea? These cars, although you think you might be able to drive a car, it all happens pretty quick.
Yeah.
And when you get the spotlight on you, pressure, you know,
Yeah,
comes
oh,
from
yeah.
a lot of different areas.
Definitely.
And he said, maybe, you know, Jill's fears are well-founded
Yes.
because it can be dangerous to people who haven't got the right, you know, skill set. So it was actually Peter that rang Philip
Okay.
and said, look, I've got my concerns about John.
Yeah.
Not that he can't do it. It's just that it might be a bit dangerous. And I know Jill has, you know,
Voiced her concern.
said no. And I think, you know, just to be fair, you know, I don't think it's probably a good idea
Yeah.
that John, you know, drives because, you know, Jill doesn't want him to do it. And, you know, it could be, you know, a bit dangerous. So,
Yeah.
so Fildo's gone, well, what do you suggest? And he said, well, I could drive the car.
What a great substitute.
And he said, you know, you know, it's well documented about my, you know, my little rift with Holden at the time, you know.
Yeah,
it
of course.
It was still dragging on from
Was
that
it?
energy polarizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And he still hadn't got back,
Yeah, okay.
even in the Group A scene.
Yes.
And so there was an estrangement there. And anyway, he'd said, well, like, you know, if you're agreeable, do you have a race engine? And Philip said, well, no, not as yet. And he said, well, look, I could go and see John Stevens
Yep.
at Holden's Engine Company.
Yep.
And he said, I could see if they've got, you know, a race engine for you. And Beverly and I could bring it up in the back of our Mitsubishi Pajero. So Philip said, oh, well, that'd be good. And I'll get back to you. So Philip rang me and said, you'll never guess who I've spoken to. I said, oh, who the hell? You speak to a lot of people. He said, Peter Brock. I said, what did he want? He said, he wants to drive the car. I said, what'd you say? He said, yeah, well, yes. I said, good idea. So there you have it. That is how Peter Brock
It came about.
got to sit in that car.
Yeah.
And so he made good on his promise.
Yep.
He did get an engine.
What was your reaction when you heard that Peter Brock was going to drive it?
To tell you the truth,
Yeah.
I got fluttery.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I would've.
I got nervous.
I would have.
Well, here is the greatest motorsport figure in Australia
Yeah, definitely.
going to drive the car that I've been building
Yeah.
in a lean-to on the side of George Shepard's house. And I'm thinking, have I welded that right? Have I turned that down right? Have I, because we had basic machines.
Yeah.
And I would go out to Brisbane and just farm around for a lathe and a drill press and stuff, and make stuff and bring it back, and George said, it's pretty good, start on this now. And one of the things that we did do, and George was a master at working the system.
Was he?
Oh, yeah. And one of them was the rules said the exhaust is free from the first joint.
Okay.
Which meant that if for instance, the Group A had a set of extractors on it, but the SS had a set of headers.
Yes.
And headers are just not as good.
Yeah.
No, they just don't flow as well. They derate the engine quite a bit. Anyway, George said, we don't want these things, but we got to have them because it's a production car, if we caught, we'll get disqualified.
Okay.
So he said, hold a minute. So he rang somebody that he knew at Fisherman's Bend, and he said, can I buy a set of headers, but in pieces? Yes, you can. And he said, send them up. We'll weld them up. So the normal production process was they would just, get a number of, people on the production line, put the pipes in a jig and weld them up with a MIG.
Yeah.
No one ever bothered to radius out, smooth out the welds on the inside, and or give them a little extra throat.
Yes.
Because they only had an 1 3/4 throat.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just holding the exhaust back. So anyway, George said, well, you know how to weld, don't you? I said, yeah. So I welded the headers together and made it so that at a cursory inspection, they looked genuine.
Yep.
But they were most certainly not.
Oh, I love that. That's such a loophole. That's smooth.
Well, that George just simply said, you've got to make the thing as best as you can.
Yes.
It's on show, so it's got to go. He said, I'm not cheating.
Yep.
They are.
That's a loophole.
They're GM headers.
Yep. I know.
But they're not welded by GM. They're prepared by somebody else.
Yes.
And so the other thing was George said, well, these things have got engine management. They were the first Commodore to be fuel injected, a fuel injected black motor. That's not right.
No. The VL Walkinshaws had those, didn't they?
But they were Nissan engine. Oh, no.
The
V8s.
V8s.
The 6, the V8. No, you're right. So they had essentially you could get a chip.
Yes, that's right.
For them.
Yeah.
So George said to the guys at GM, well, we're trying to race this thing. We're not parking it at shopping centres.
That's true.
So can we have a little extra? So they said, we'll send you up a package. So he got it. And he would never tell anybody how he got it.
Yes.
Or where he got it from, but he just said it came from GM. So it went into the car, and it was all shrouded in secrecy, and we never ever got to know anything about it. That was George's thing, and nobody questioned.
Yes.
It was back behind the passenger side kick panel at the front.
Oh, yeah.
No one touched it.
Yep.
That was George. Yep. Then, shot peen the axles, and then with the clutch, we did a little bit of work inside with the Froette bearing because there's a lot of gear changes. And essentially, Brian, when you race these things, you just drive it with the throttle buried and ride the clutch.
What about the intake? Was it breathing? Pod filter? Was it factory filter?
Yeah, it was okay, but the trouble was it was glaringly obvious.
Yeah, of course it would be.
If you modified it as soon as you lift the bonnet. But we were able to put a Group A intake on it.
Yep.
So although we had the lower D-rated engine, we had the benefit of using GM parts. We weren't doing anything anything out of the ordinary, because you could, as a customer, go and order it.
Well, it's a production. It was a part. It was a part.
Yeah. So we did that. So
Smart.
it was not untoward. Yeah.
So you said you spent 11 weekends building the car.
Yes.
And that's roughly how long it took ready to go by the time that. You said, because Peter put the motor in the back of his Pajero.
Okay, but that was at Bathurst.
Oh, that was at Bathurst.
That was at Bathurst.
So you hadn't even put the motor in?
No. No.
Jeez.
No.
Oh, jeez,
That was all in the future.
So you still run? So did it still have the factory motor just sitting in it?
Still had the factory motor. Sitting in it.
Yeah.
When we put it in the transport.
Yeah.
And took it down to Bathurst.
Yeah.
For the week before, so we were down there. We raced on the 11th. We were down there on the 4th.
Yeah.
Of April, 1993.
Wow.
I feel like I should read some stuff, but I'm sort of, I don't know.
No, you're really going well with it, though. I like the flow. I love the flow of it. It's a great story.
Yeah.
It really is. So you obviously got some sponsors behind you. You had Bridgestone jump on. You had
okay. What happened there was Peter had said to Phil and Dan, look, I've got two sponsors that travel with me everywhere, and I need some real estate on the car. Yep. One is Bridgestone.
Yep.
The other one is Mobil.
Yeah, makes sense.
They are my major, and if you see any of his racing cars of that era, all of them have got that, and hence, we made some real estate for him, and so Jim McNulty, that photograph's taken before his thing. He got put on the front bumper bar.
There you go.
It's not on there either, but
Road Safe Queensland suspension.
Yeah, no, that's George Shepherd's
That's
business.
George stuff. Yep.
Yeah,
George's stuff. Yep.
So he was down there. But we got the poster done before we put.
Radio. Yeah.
Before we put the sticker on. Anyway, so we've got the car fitted out. We've got it down to Bathurst. We had to form a team.
Oh, of course you would.
We needed bods.
Yeah, definitely.
And so
Pit crew.
Yep. So we went to Sylvia Holden.
Okay.
We went round and said to Tony Scott, who had our driver, who had a service station at Arana Hills.
Okay.
Ampol at Arana Hills.
Yep.
That was his business. And in his business, he dealt with, Holden and Ford and all parts. So he approached Sylvia Holden and they said, oh, yeah, there's a couple of guys we could recommend. And one of them was Grant. Then there was another guy. I just forget his name now. But then George said, well, I have a great friend, Ross Williams, who owns Sutherland Mitsubishi just out north of Sydney. And he was a great rallying friend of George's.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, George navigated for Colin Bond.
Yes.
In the Tiranas and the Holden dealer cars early on. So Ross, just a lovely, very smart electronic man.
Yeah.
And Ross came on board, and he had what turned out to be our right front mechanic.
Yep.
Which was Mal, big tall Mal with a moustache. Tony had Donald Kington, who worked at his service station. Donald, very, very talented mechanic. And then so that made up the four wheelmen, and then myself on the day was the fuel man.
Yep.
And we had another guy, his name just eludes me at the moment, and of course George. So they were the only people that could touch the car.
Yes. Okay.
And so our on the fueling side on the day, the car has got a dry brake fuel system. So it's got two vents come up big holes cut in the boot lid, 120 litre tank in the rear boot, in the boot compartment. And I don't know how we ever got away with that.
Why?
Well, think about it. The original fuel tank is under the car.
Yes.
So in the event of a rear end impact,
Yes.
the fuel is separated from the driver by the floor of the car.
Yes.
But if you put the fuel tank in the boot
Yep.
and you have a rear end impact,
It's fully exposed.
you're going to throw fuel straight through the cabin of the car.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is a good point.
Yeah.
So, but the rules say you have to seal it. So all we simply did was we put a sheet of aluminium behind the back seat,
And that passed.
and that passed.
Oh,
Pop
okay.
riveted it in.
Yeah, right. Wow.
I mean, it's still there. It's still there
Is
with a bit of white sealer. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did it all those years ago.
It's amazing.
And you think to yourself, gee whiz, I know I wouldn't want to be in the car with 120 litres of fuel inside of it.
No.
But anyway, that was racing.
It was just general fuel too, was it?
It was, it had to be Bowser fuel.
Bowser fuel.
Yeah,
Okay.
it had to be, because it was a production car, it had to be production fuel.
That makes sense.
And so anyway, so we were down at Bathurst with the car on the Sunday before. It was a bitterly cold week.
Was it?
It snowed.
Jeez. That's a great start. Well, I made the comment about you wearing the full face mask.
Balaclava.
And I was like, geez, that must have been hot. And then I forgot there'd been snowing. So no, actually kept quite warm.
It was actually great.
Yeah, it would have been a cold chill.
Yeah. So we then had the benefit of Bridgestone, and Bridgestone just wasn't a sticker. Bridgestone came with about 4 guys and half a truckload of tyres.
Okay.
Now, I probably should rewind a little bit, and we had to we accepted all these tyres. Bridgestone gave them to us. Bridgestone Potenzas RE110s, soft and hards.
Okay.
But what we had to do was we had to buff them,
Okay.
take the tread off,
Yes.
and so and then bed them in, because if you put a raw set of tyres on a car during a pit stop, they're cold.
Yep.
And they're smooth.
Yes.
And so they're slippery.
Yes,
So
it
what
would
you've
be.
got to do is put them on a car, run them around a track, put about 7 laps on them, bed them in, take them off, put another set on, do it again. So that's what we did up at Lakeside with Scotty's Group N car. So we
okay.
used his car to bed all the tyres for the Castle Hill car
Oh, wow.
before we took them to Bathurst, so that they were ready to go when we had to put them on. So
Did you have to have quite a set of few tyres or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A right front tyre, we got to last 34 laps
okay.
because that was the amount of fuel that we could carry.
Ah, okay. Radio. Yep.
So that's how we timed our tyre changes, essentially, our pit stops.
Oh,
Was
wow.
How long? So because you think about it, if your tyres don't last as long as your fuel does, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, right.
You're not being efficient.
Yeah.
So you're not stretching the car. So if, for instance, if you have like a dicky setup in the front end, if you're scrubbing the tyres and you only get 30 laps, you're carrying around 4 laps of fuel for nothing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're inefficient.
Inefficient. Yep.
You're burning time.
Yep. That makes sense.
And George was onto that and onto that and onto that. The setup of the car, because that's what he did at HDT.
Yes.
He was the suspension man.
Yes.
He was the guy that set up all those Tiranas, all those Commodores for around Australia. He was the wheel, tyre, road interface man.
Yeah, okay.
That's what he did.
Yep.
And he was good at it.
Really good.
And that is why when Peter Brock heard that George was building the car, it was a no-brainer for him.
Yeah.
He thought to myself, you know what? This car has got a very good chance of winning. When Peter had made just simply a cursory, kind of like a character check Phil and Dan, he just said, are they good blokes? And Dan said, well, they pay their bills. So that makes you a good bloke.
That makes you a good bloke.
Motorsport.
Yeah, it would.
Because
there wouldn't be cheap bills.
Because a lot of people don't.
Yeah, and there wouldn't be cheap bills either.
No.
No.
And Phil and Dan, are ethical.
Yes.
Guys, and they don't do things like that.
Yeah.
And they don't skip out, owing money on people or anything like that. It's just not in their makeup. So
yeah.
So it was a done deal for Peter to come on board, and he was very, very happy because, I'm probably jumping forward a bit.
You're right.
So anyway, we've arrived with the car at Bathurst on the Sunday. We've unpacked all of our stuff. We've got all of our bedded tyres. We've got all of our tools and equipment, and then we're delighted to find, because we've got Peter Brock driving it, we get garage number 1. Number 1.
You get preferential treatment.
Oh, and
I think he earned it.
That's royalty.
Of course it is, definitely.
And here I am. I'm thinking, gee whiz, look at all this. Look at this beautiful room. Look at all this stuff. Look at all these gas bottles. Look at all this. And I mean, it was laid on, but I still hadn't met the man.
Yeah. Okay. At the point you hadn't.
Yep.
Are we in awe?
Oh yeah. They arrived Wednesday.
Yep. Okay.
And it was a surreal thing, because I'd sort of thinking, what am I going to say? But you know what? He's an ordinary bloke.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was not aloof. He was not up himself.
Yep.
Or he didn't he didn't expect anybody, to bow, scrape or anything until, because he's an ordinary guy. And I tell you what, he just thrust out his hand and "G'day, I'm Peter, and g'day, I'm Bullet, I'm Bullet, Stephen Bell." Oh yeah, all right. So you Bullet, your nickname, yeah, nickname, good. And so I just went on. I'm standing there with my mouth open and looking at him, and then Beverly says, "Oh yeah, I'm Beverly," and "Oh hello Beverly," and gee whiz, it was just a lovely meeting. After, well, yeah, it was.
It would have been, mate. It would have been, yeah. And plus, you would have known, like, you would have seen some of his races over the years and all that sort of stuff. And,
well,
and like you said, racing royalty.
And then, with Peter comes Dick Johnson.
Yep.
They come down. Larry Perkins comes in.
Royalty.
Greg Hansford.
Goats.
Alan Grice. They're all.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they're all just hanging around our garage. And hello, Larry, and hello, Dick, and hello, Will Hagen, the commentators, and of course George being George, was, God Almighty, what a guy, rough,
yep,
rough, doesn't care what he says, just tells you what he thinks, and but an extremely astute man.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, extremely astute. He can read people.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Good judge of character?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And I remember he said to me one time, we're in bed. We're in the same room in the house. And, of course, George was a heavy smoker.
Okay.
And he used to smoke 2 Winnies in the shower.
Couldn't wait till the shower finished. Had to have it in the shower.
2 in the shower. And then he was the only man I ever knew that could lift a doona by farting. And I woke up and I looked across the room and I hear this, and then he looks out and he says, "You all right, Yeah, thanks, George. Yeah, get out and get some breakfast.
Yeah, quick.
For the smell, and but it was a great team. It was we were just a mob of blokes down there, basically having the time of our lives.
And so, what was the anticipation like leading into this to this race? So you got there on Sunday. Now that it's the following weekend that it's the race.
Yep.
So you've got that days to get the car ready, get it prepared.
Yep.
You've got testing. You've got
we've got testing, and we've got media.
Yeah, media stuff.
We've got media everywhere.
Yeah. Could imagine you would.
Oh, yeah. And, the little Commodore performed beautifully.
Did it?
Except it suffered with fuel surge.
Okay, fuel surge.
Over the top of the mountain.
Yep.
And as I said, when you start racing something, you find out all the weaknesses all at once.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we'd bring the car back in and he'd say, right, put the doors down.
Yeah.
So nobody from any other team here, righto.
Yeah.
What's it doing? Oh, it's doing, and Tony'd say, oh, well, it's doing this. It's doing, Peter say, oh, it's doing that. And righto, what do you think? And he'd just throw it around the room and he'd say, righto, well, this is what I think. And he'd just go, blub, 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 blub. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. We'll try that. So we'd just get to it.
Yep.
Follow orders. And we'd make wash gates, we made pickups, we put fuel foam and we had all sorts of stuff. Put it back in the car, take it back out, test it again. No, it didn't work.
Didn't work.
No. So we'd do something else.
Yeah.
And credit to George, it was a serious problem because it was holding us up.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah. And Peter would say, oh, it's, it just goes like a 6.
Yeah.
It just has the power of a 6. It just starts for fuel. And I can't get the power to the ground. So we solved that, I'm saying Thursday afternoon.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It was getting pretty late.
Yeah.
And, of course, Friday was a full session of practice, then Saturday, and then, of course, Sunday's the race. So the other thing was tyres.
Tyres.
The tyres were okay, but it was squirmy.
Was it?
Yeah.
So when Peter brought this motor up, he brought it up on that Wednesday.
Yes.
So you hadn't done anything. You just waited for that motor, put the motor in,
the engine.
Yep, and then went from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we slotted that in on Thursday night.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's impressive, eh?
Yep. And we were expecting big things.
Yeah.
Yep. VU 605853 was the engine number.
Was it really?
Yep. It's the one that's on the video that is hanging up on the engine stand.
Yes.
Well, the media came around and they did a little media coverage with Peter and that engine.
Oh, wow.
And it's then he said, look for the homegrown product.
Yep.
It will make a good account of itself.
And it certainly did.
And it certainly did. Up against all the Porsches, up against the Lotus Esprit Turbo and the Maseratis.
Yep.
That were in the race. And, so that was good. So we took that out on Friday morning and we were a bit disappointed.
Were you really?
Yep.
Why?
Well, it didn't go as hard. It went better than the engine we took out, the standard engine, but it wasn't a world beater.
Okay, right.
And George thought, George is sitting there with the headphones on and Peter's talking to him and Scotty's talking to him about, what's it doing over the top and what are we getting down the straight? And, of course, Ross had telemetry in that car. Okay. That's the aerial on the boot.
Oh, right, yes.
Is the telemetry aerial. And it was transmitting real-time data. It was one of the first.
What was it really?
Yeah, cars that had it. And we could see its road speed, what gear it was in, what temperatures and pressures we had. And so anyway, Friday afternoon, doors down.
Yep.
Had a meeting. Engine. What do you think? And George had the presence of mind. Shane Wilson from HRT.
Oh, yeah.
Was the engine builder.
Okay.
And he's a lovely guy, really lovely guy. And actually, I race a car with his brother, Lee.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, he lives in Yeppoon.
Oh, wow, it's a small world.
Yeah, it's a small world. Shane still lives at Mount Gambier.
Yep.
He of course, doesn't work for HRT anymore, but he did at the time.
Yep.
And a particularly good engine builder. And so George had invited him to our meeting because, we were testing this thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And he was up at Bathurst, to see how it went. And George said, well, what's the go? And Tony said, well, it's valve bouncing
Okay.
at 5.5.
Yep.
Right. And then Peter, is it valve bouncing 5.5? I said, well, yeah, it is. And so George turned to Shane and said, well, what's the go? He said, well, George, this is a 308 black motor. It's got pressed metal rocker bridges. Now, you know as well as what I do, is if you put hardened or high pressure valve springs in it,
Yep.
it will punch a push rod through the pressed metal bridge. If we had Yellow Terra forged rockers,
Yep.
not a problem.
Yep.
But he said if we put a push rod through a pressed metal bridge, it's game over.
Yep.
So he said, I put light and valve springs in it.
Okay.
And George goes, so what's your thought? And he said, George, if that engine blows a valve rocker, you're not going to have enough time to fix it.
Yeah.
And it will not be there at the end of the day. So he said, in my opinion, in order for this engine to last for 12 hours, it needs light and valve springs. And so George, I remember his face. He said, right. So he turned to Peter and said, what do you think? And you know what Peter said?
What did he say?
Shane, thank you very much for that. He said, George, close the bonnet. I'll upshift earlier. We'll race it on Sunday like it is.
Oh, really?
That's what he said.
Wow.
He said, George, it's more important for the car to be there at the end.
Yes. Yeah.
What it does during the day, high performance is great, but we all know that it comes at a cost and a risk.
Yeah, good point.
So he said, George, if it isn't there at the end of the day and it fails on the camera, it's bad.
Yeah.
So George thought, well, you know what? These guys are expert. This guy's driving the car. He's driven enough cars.
Yeah.
And this guy's built enough engines.
Yep.
He's built more engines than I have. Okay, that's what we'll do. And that's what we did.
Stuck to it.
Yep. And VU 605 853 did not blow
Oh, beautiful.
a valve of a rocker.
Yeah.
And it still hasn't.
Oh, really?
32 years later.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
It still hasn't done it. And, you know, we were pushing 254 kilometres an hour
Holy
down the
smokes.
straight. Now, when you think about it, that's pretty good
Yeah.
for a standard SS.
Yeah.
That engine was given to us by John Stevens, who was the CEO of Holden's Engine Company. That engine raced Bathurst the year before in Alan Grice's black Akubra Ute.
Did it really?
Yes, it's that engine.
That engine.
So it was sort of like a customer engine that they built.
Yep.
So all they simply did was they blueprinted it, balanced it, and essentially, Brian, they open up the tolerances.
Okay, rightio. Yep.
So that it'll rev quickly. There's less internal friction in the parts of the engine, the rotating parts of the engine.
Okay, rightio.
So, but as Shane has put light and valve springs in it, it just couldn't make
it.
high RPM or put too much pressure on the bridges. It's just mechanical stuff, you know?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But you got to make a judgment.
Yep.
And that's what he thought.
Well, it paid off.
And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And the engine was sound, it was making good power, it was making, reasonable speed, and we had it was a strong motor. The gearbox was good.
Yep.
The differential we knew was good. And the diff we know was good because we'd shot peen the axles and we were able to substitute the brakes with AP calipers from England.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Simply
Good brand.
because that's a funny thing. The braking effort is not a performance factor.
Yep.
It will allow you to slow faster. That's not getting around the track faster.
Yes, that's true.
So it was classed more as a safety aspect because they simply had said, look, these Holdens aren't going to be there at the end of the day if we have the standard calipers.
Yes.
And, I mean, that's fair enough.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
And so we had AP rotors, AP calipers from England on that car.
Yeah.
And what else? We had the dump pipe, the exhaust pipe, was straight off a Group C.
Oh, okay.
So it was off an old Terrano.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Geez, that sounded nice though, didn't it?
And, you know, all it is a megaphone.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of wrap sheet. It's about probably, I don't know, 500 long by probably oval about, 210 by probably 80 mil. And it's got a reverse megaphone in it. It's got a funnel in it.
Oh, okay.
It's got no sound deadening whatsoever.
Yep, love it.
But that is the recipe that extracts the exhaust and dumps it out from those big header pipes, because we could use a 3.5-inch pipe.
That's a good size exhaust pipe.
On the back, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, in subsequent years, I learned very much about gas flow.
Did you?
And I often laugh when I see, you know, kids driving around with huge, great big exhaust pipes because the engine can't fill it.
Yes.
And it's simply an equation of air in, air out.
Yes.
And so if it's air in and if you can't get it out, then the atmosphere races back up the exhaust pipe and causes friction, causes turbulence in the exhaust pipe.
Yep. Makes
So
sense.
that is why they dump the exhaust out in front of the back wheels.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Is so that each cylinder, the exhaust blast will get to the end of the muffler just as the second one enters the pipe.
Okay. Yes.
So it's kind of extractors in a way, but
Yep.
you know, they've used that for years.
There you go. A little trick.
Yeah. And now where were we up to? Gee whiz.
So we're pretty much we're at qualifying day, really.
We're at
Qualifying
qualifying.
and practice day. So
Yep.
you weren't satisfied with the motor. Digitally, you came to the agreement like this is what we're going to have to do. So the next stage now is qualifying, I guess.
Qualifying, and so in order to qualify it, you've got to have a consistency.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you then, you know, you aim, well, you have to, you can't race the car unless it will do a certain time.
Yep. Okay.
So it's pretty generous.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's derived by the parameters of it are designed by the class.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, a 1600
Yes.
cc car cannot do a lap as fast as a 5-litre car can
Yes.
do it. So there are parameters, and I think we lapped at about 225,
Okay. Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
So when you look at today's terms in touring cars, you know, they're 2 minutes or they're 1 minute something, you know, and you know, 25 seconds in motor racing is an eternity.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, that's the length of Mountain Straight.
Yeah. Well.
You know, you know. So it's a so you've got to get the car to qualify, but also both the drivers.
Yeah. Okay. Both the drivers too.
Both the drivers have got to do it. So
Yes.
their times are recorded, and I don't know whether you remember in that little presentation that I had, the little thing that Peter was saying that we were racing faster than what we qualified.
Yeah, he was saying that. Yeah.
And it was because of the fuel.
Was it?
We just didn't get a run.
Oh, that's right.
And then, of course, when we put VE605853 in it,
yes.
we were expecting bigger things.
Yep.
But we had to sort of recoil a little bit for longevity purposes.
Fair enough.
And so that is what he was referring to when he was talking to Will Hagen, is that, we really didn't get a go, but we, 12 hours is a long time. So when you settle in, and get some laps under your belt, that's when you get the feel of the thing, and you the old cliche is you get in the groove.
Yeah, true. That's the point.
Where were we? Well,
So you obviously the car qualified,
The car qualified.
the drivers qualified.
Yep. Then the Channel 10 approached us
Oh, okay.
and said, can we put a race cam?
Oh, so that's
your
how
car.
the cam came about.
Yeah, okay. We want to see Peter drive. We want to see Tony too, but, Peter Brock just carries a lot of momentum.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Media momentum. And so we of course, yeah. So they said, well, we'll send a crew round and we'll get the car fitted up. So that was good. That was on, I think that was on the Wednesday afternoon because we knew we were going to be busy Thursday.
Yes.
So they came around. What was the first thing they did?
What did they do?
They drilled a 40 mil hole in the middle of the turret, in the middle of the roof. Put the antenna.
Jeez.
So,
You would have been sitting there going, oh.
It's 36 grand worth of SS and
I
you've
know.
just drilled a hole in the bottom.
Oh, shit.
Yep. So they did that. So it's still there.
Still there?
Yeah, it's still there. And anyway, so they fitted it all up and it actually Windsor Smith gave us $10,000.
Did they really?
For the view over the boot lid.
Really?
Yep, they did. They gave us $10,000
Wow.
for that. And there was one camera that never worked from day one was the face cam. It was mounted.
Really?
Yeah, you can see it in the footage. It was mounted on top of the instrument cluster.
Yeah.
Looking back at his face.
And never worked.
Never got one picture from it. Not
That's a shame.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
But anyway, but it meant a lot of increased media coverage for us.
Of course it
it
would've.
just opened up.
Yeah, it
As
would
soon
have.
as you had race cam, wow, it just all happened. So, gee, where are we up to now?
I guess you could probably say this is the night before
Yeah.
the race day.
Yep.
What was the nerves like, mate? How he is all feeling?
You know what?
Were you pretty cruisy? Were you nervous?
We were cruisy.
Cruisy, yeah,
We knew we had a good thing.
yeah.
We knew it was good.
That's good.
We knew that we weren't going to beat. We're not going to beat a Porsche.
Yeah.
We're not going to beat an RX-7.
Yep.
We're not going to beat a dog-bone Honda. You
Yeah.
ever seen them Honda NSXs?
Yeah, beautiful car.
Yeah. All of their wishbones are made out of forged aluminium.
Crazy, eh?
Oh, just a beautiful, beautiful car. A sports car.
Oh yeah,
And so, and to tell you the truth, Brian, they would want to beat us
yeah.
because if they don't, there's something wrong. There is something wrong if a dedicated sports car can't beat a taxi.
And they weren't a cheap car either. Those
They were not a
NSXs,
cheap car.
they were very expensive.
They were not a cheap car. Just a little bit of technical.
Yep.
We use 3.25 litres a lap to
Okay.
do 6.4 kilometres.
Wow.
So, when you see black smoke coming out of the dump pipe of a touring car, that's fuel.
Yeah. Right.
So
okay.
it's you can be assured that the accelerator is on the floor. And I remember George used to say to us, stand up on the wall, stand up beside the wall in practice, make sure that the thing's blowing black smoke.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
it comes down the
Yep.
down the straight. So it means it's accelerating. I've got a little bit here. The right front Potenza RE10 soft tyre would be okay for 34 laps. So we needed to get the surge problem down. That was the fuel surge.
Okay. Yep.
Down to fuel so we could use the last 5 litres in the tank.
Okay.
We had an inkling that the race motor would use a shade more fuel for 34 laps, so we could use 116 litres or so. It was that close.
Wow, that is close.
That's close because if you run out, it's
Yeah.
game over.
Yeah, it would be.
It's game over.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, 4 litres of fuel,
Is like what you're saying, 3 point something was
3.25 litres
a
a lap.
lap. So it's one lap. You're down
One
to one lap.
Within 1 lap.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's intense.
Yeah. And we did have a reserve tank. We did have a switch. Remember I said
Yes.
that light on is the telltale light for the fuel pump.
Yep.
When the fuel pump runs out of fuel, the light goes out.
Yes.
So that's when you switch onto reserve.
Yeah.
And so we had a little pot at the bottom of that fuel tank, in front of that bladder, which would give us about another 4 litres. That would get us home.
Yep.
But no more.
No more.
No more. Okay. Oh, yeah. During the Thursday morning practice session, Tony Scott took the wheel from Peter. About halfway through the middle of the session, we were bedding in some more tyres.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So we thought anyway, he topped the rise going into McPhillamy Park. The black dog-bone Honda driven by Wayne Gardner, one of the fastest cars on the track, was about 80 to 100 metres in front of Scotty when Wayne put the right rear wheel of the NSX over the top of the ripple strip at McPhillamy.
Oh.
You know what that does?
Spits you?
Yep. The right rear stepped out and the Honda swerved to the left, pointing its nose at the concrete barrier with the wall and the town of Bathurst in the distance.
Oh.
Tony was doing over 100 miles an hour in the Commodore at McPhillamy, and he lined up with the Honda NSX, which was about to impact the wall.
Oh.
So the Honda is pointing towards Bathurst, and Scotty's right behind him. And the Honda has just simply gone straight ahead and impacted the wall, and Scotty has just whipped past the back.
Close.
He remarked that he turned the steering wheel so that he wouldn't hit the Honda on the driver's side and brace for the impact.
Oh, jeez. Mm-hmm. That is close.
Through skill or poor chance, Scotty managed to steer the Commodore through the path of the NSX and the debris of its impact. And I'd said to Scotty, gee, it must be good, being a racing car driver and having all that control, And he said, Bullet, get real. I'm just as much a passenger as what the steering wheel is. Once you do that, he said, I simply turn the steering wheel and close my eyes.
Oh, wow.
Waited for it to hit. But it didn't. It didn't. The Commodore went sideways with the brakes locked, with all 4 wheels smoking the wheel arches.
Jeez.
Tony straightened up the Commodore, brought her back to the pits with 4 of the biggest flat spots I've ever seen on the tyres.
Wow.
The car was visibly jumping up and down.
Really?
It was visibly jumping up and down. There was not a scratch or a mark on the car. And the big joke around the garage was I wrote on the tyres. I put them out the front of our pit and I wrote on the tyres, does anyone want to go for a spin with Tony Scott? You know what? I've still got them.
Have you?
I've still got
does
the
not
tyres.
surprise me.
The Bridgestone guys took their tyres with all the canvas hanging out of them, wondering how they held together. I've never seen something right through the canvas.
Really?
Oh, yeah. God,
Wow.
yeah. The Honda NSX was owned by the Palmer brothers and driven by Wayne Gardner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was essentially destroyed.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was it was bent so much. They put it on that Carolina rack up at the TAFE College.
Yep.
The repair team they had there, they couldn't straighten it.
Jeez.
I think they said they had 11 tons on
Holy.
it and they couldn't budge it. They couldn't bend it. It was that strong.
Wow.
Yep. But through an all night and all day effort, they got that car on the grid.
Wow.
Because they were next to us.
That's impressive.
They were next to us. Actually, there was one Kiwi guy that he had not slept, I'm saying, for more than 30 hours.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, he must have been tired, mate.
Actually, he face planted in the pit. Yeah. He face planted, poor fella.
Did he? Oh,
Yeah, he
don't
did.
blame him.
Yeah, he did. Peter did an interview at Channel 10 about 11 a.m. with his morning teacup in his hand. He used to drink rose tea.
Did he?
Oh, God. He gave me some of it on. I said, Peter, how do you drink that stuff?
Yeah.
And he said, oh, it's good for your health.
That's it. Didn't say anything about the taste.
No. But milky.
Oh, really?
Rose tea with milk.
Oh, no, I couldn't do that.
No. But anyway, that was when he did that ad extolling the virtues of that Holden.
Ah, okay.
On the day, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And he was right. Now, okay. So I told you about the Sander man.
Yes.
Yeah. And, one afternoon, Peter and I was sitting on the bonnet of that car.
Yeah, wow.
And everybody'd gone somewhere. I don't know what they were doing, but Peter and I were sitting there and he looked down and he looked at the rego sticker and went, 500 BQV. He said, that was the name of the race before it come to Bathurst 1000. It was the Armstrong 500.
Really?
Yeah, it was. And I tell you, he's right. Back in 1963, in the early 60s to about probably 67, something like that,
Yep.
was the Armstrong 500.
Oh, wow.
And then he went, BQV, Bathurst Quick Vehicle. And it stuck. It was he that named it. It was he that named it. And just as a little side note, I said to him, my girlfriend, Jill, is a great fan of yours. And he said, well, ring her up.
Oh, really?
And I said, how do I do that? He said, well, go and get a mobile phone. And everybody used to hang their mobile phones on the wall. And I never had one. I never used a mobile phone. So Scotty said, yeah, have mine. So I went, how do you do it? And he went, just there's a number there. Just hit the number. So I hit the numbers. Dick, 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 dick. Ring up. Hello. Oh, hello, darling. How you going? Well, what are you doing? Oh, well, I'm sitting in the pits.
I'm calling from a mobile phone.
I'm on a mobile phone. Yeah. I said, well, there's somebody here that wants to talk to you. And she said, who is it? I said, Peter Brock. And she said, oh, no, I can't do that. I said, well, and Peter's looking at me, sort of over the bonnet, well, am I going to talk to her? No. No, I can't talk to him. No. What would I say? I said, well, just say hello. He's only an ordinary bloke, And no. And so Peter says, no, yes, no. So she wouldn't.
She wouldn't speak to him.
No. And Peter said, oh, well, that's a first. He wasn't dismayed or anything.
He was probably more blown away by that himself.
No, didn't want to talk to him.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, we talked about the Cougar Ute engine.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about the fuel situation. Oh, yeah. Another problem emerged.
Oh, really?
Friday morning. We had oil surge.
Oh, did you?
Yep. Oil pressure.
Ah.
When we're going across the top. So, you know what we had to do?
What'd you do?
Jack the engine up, get it up, pull off the sump,
Yep.
and I made a windage tray for it.
Did you?
Yep. And a windage tray is simply, I just went up to the TAFE tent and I said, have you got any probably 20 gauge sheet metal? Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good. And I said to Scotty, I need some Allen keys. I need some Allen head sockets have cap screws. Yeah, righto. So I go into town and get them. So he went into town, got them, and I bent up a tray which simply stopped the oil from surging up to the right hand side of the engine, and you make a little scraper that actually scrapes the crankshaft.
Ah.
You've got to keep the oil in the sump.
Okay.
Because what it wants to do is it wants to slide up the side of the sump and slide up the side of the block, and of course the pickup comes out of oil.
Yes, of course.
And the other thing with Holden V8s is that we found out pretty quickly that the tappet covers hold a lot of oil. They've only got one hole to drain back to the sump.
Back to the sump, yeah.
So what happens is when those engines spend a lot of time at high revs, they're not towing a caravan around.
Yeah, of course.
All the oil accumulates in the tappet covers.
Yep.
And it can't get back to the sump faster than what it is pumped up through the push rods.
Yeah, okay.
And so anyway, we had to do run a couple of pipes
Yep.
to get the oil
Get back down.
Yeah. And Harry Firth and George had said, you know what Harry Firth's answer to that was?
What?
Because he said the 308 did it in the LH Tirana.
Yeah.
He said they took it to Oran Park.
Yep.
And unit did.
What?
It filled up the tappet covers. It leaked out the press metal joint, and they only had a cork gasket that went from the tappet cover to the cylinder head.
Yeah.
Well, it got so full that it breached the joint. It rolled down the engine, got on the exhaust, went down the exhaust pipe, and of course, where is the exhaust pipe situated? It's situated right in front of the back wheel.
Yes.
So if you're turning a right-hand corner, then all the effort is on the left rear.
Yes.
So if you've got oil anywhere near the left rear, you know what it does? It only takes one or two little drips to put a slippery surface between you and Mother Earth, and round it goes.
Yeah, it would.
And so we thought, right, we've got to fix that. So, so let's make sure the oil gets back to the sump. So that was good. So that was another little thing. We talked about the valve bounce. Actually, I've got to correct myself. It wasn't 5.2, it was 6.2.
Oh, was it?
6,200, yeah.
So,
Might be a bit stage fright.
so mate, what?
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, about Harry Firth's fix. Harry Firth's fix was we've got to stop the oil from going up the push rods.
Yes.
We'll restrict the flow. How are we going to do it? We're at the track.
Yeah.
So anyway, he'd said to Colin Bond, go down to the shopping centre and go and see if you can find a smoke shop, place that sells cigarettes.
Really?
And stuff, yep. Go and get me a box of pipe cleaners.
Oh, okay.
So Colin Bond went down to a smoke shop, went and bought a packet of pipe cleaners. You know what they look like, don't you?
Yeah, pipe cleaner, yeah.
Yeah, right. So what you do with the pipe cleaner is you take out the push rods and stuff the pipe cleaners up the push rods.
Ah.
It restricts the flow of oil.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Because you only need a mist of oil
Yeah, okay.
to lubricate something.
Yes.
You don't need a flood of oil.
Yeah, that's true.
You only need a mist. And so that's when, you go back to Holden and say, you know what? The push rods you got, they're great for towing caravans, but no good for racing.
Yeah. Makes
And
sense.
so, in years since, I've worked on a number of racing engines, and what I do is people have these Corello rods and, high flow rods and all the rest of it. No good.
No good.
You know what I do?
Send them to the smoke shop.
No. I do something actually a little more refined, is that I go and get some liquid metal.
Okay.
Go and get a little syringe, give it a squirt up the push rod, then tap it down so it all goes to the bottom, and then leave them leaned up against your vise overnight.
Yep.
Then come back, put them in the lathe and drill a 30 thou hole in them.
Ah, okay, radio. Yep.
And all you're doing is restricting the flow. It works.
Makes sense.
Works a treat. Because when engines spend, all day up at high revs, there's just too much oil on the top end.
So what? So you fine tuned all these little nicks and knacks, the things that need to be done. Now this is turning into the race day.
Yeah, turning into race day.
Race day. So what time's the race start?
4:45.
4:45 in the morning.
4:45 in the morning.
And it was dark.
Oh, it was pitch black.
You had headlights on.
Pitch black. Oh yeah, pitch black. And of course, we didn't leave until probably 10.
Yeah. Okay.
That night.
Yep.
By the time I simply, prepared the car, spanner checked it.
Yep.
We made sure everything was, not going to fall off it.
Tip top.
Everything was good. And so, of course, and, with Dick Johnson's situation, when they're talking on race cam, we had to have that car out from behind the wall an hour before.
Oh, okay. Radio.
So it's got to be out behind the pit wall and on the grid. So that means 3:45.
Jeez.
So that means by the time you get there, we only had 4 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Not even that.
You guys must have been knackered.
Oh,
You're just hyped.
We were hyped. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be a good day. The weather report was good.
Yep.
It was clear. It was a clear night, but it was dark. And so we got the car out, and we just made our final preparations: oil, fuel, make sure everything good. Battery is secure.
Yep.
And another little check that Peter had said, when you're sitting in a grid with a lot of revving cars waiting for the flag to fall, you can't hear your own engine.
That's so true.
So he said, what I'd like to do is, could somebody just get up on the wall and tell me that when I drop the clutch that the wheels are spinning?
Okay. Yep.
Because that's a confirmation that your clutch is good, gearbox is good, tail shaft is good, and the diff's good.
Yes.
Because the worst thing is, of course, is to be hit on the start from a car from behind.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what I and Donald did.
Yep.
We went up to the wall, and at the flag fall of the race, the start of the race, Peter was just simply looking at us.
Yeah.
And as he said,
crazy.
well, there's nothing else to look at.
Yeah,
the car's pointed up the track, you know. He's just looking at us sideways.
Yep.
And he said, all I'll do is bring the car to 4,000 RPM, hold it there, and then just put it in first gear and then just sidestep the clutch.
Yep.
So just let your foot slide off it. And he said, what'll happen then? He said, I should see the tacho dip a little bit as the torque is transmitted through the gearbox and into the diff and into the wheels. He said, then it'll break traction. He said, then it will begin to slide to the left, to creep to the left. I'll just correct it. Then he said, I should see the engine RPM come up when it hooks up and the road speed gets up. I don't need you guys anymore.
Yeah.
Then I can drive it. But in that awful second or so, think about it. We've got a very cold morning. We've got cold steel.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely.
And you've got a warmed engine, but you've got a cold drivetrain.
Yeah.
And that's when things break.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Rips the teeth off gears and all that sort of stuff. So that was something I never realised.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
And so anyway,
so you got the race started, mate.
Yep.
He's on his way.
We're on his way.
You got 12 hours.
12 hours. And you know what? We had race cam transmitted, some lovely footage of the dark.
Also too, the commentary.
Oh,
when you play back and watch it.
Yeah.
And you've got Peter Brock in there yarning in the car.
Yeah.
While he's driving it, and mind you, driving it brilliantly.
And he was.
Smoothly.
And he was. Because you got to remember that it's a production car.
Yeah,
it's
factory
virtually a
H-pattern.
street car.
Yeah.
And he's just, and as he said at Castle Hill, at the little fun fair we had there, mechanical sympathy
Yes.
is what you've got to have.
I love that
in
word,
order to get
mechanical
it.
sympathy.
Yeah, in order to get it
Yeah.
to the finish line. Because it's got a big job.
And so through that 12 hours, how was it? How was it all going? How was it going for you?
It was great until about 7:25 in the morning.
Okay.
Then George is standing there with his headphones on.
Yep.
And he says, car's buggered, Peter's bringing it in.
Oh.
Right. So he had another conversation with Peter.
Yep.
And he said it's lost power.
Okay.
So anyway, Mel said, why don't it's stopping it? Is it still going? And Peter said, well, it's still going.
Yeah.
He said, but it's just dropped power. So George said, okay, all right, run it up close to the wall. And so the exhaust is on the left-hand side. So if you send a couple of mechanics up to the wall, listen to it as it goes past.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're listening to the exhaust.
Yes.
And so Pete ran it past, as he was told, and went back around again. Anyway, George said to Mal and Donald, what do you reckon? And they said, I'm thinking it might have dropped the valve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, righto. And so Peter said, okay, bring it in this time. So everybody get ready. And Bally, you put fuel in it. Doesn't matter. If it's not going anywhere, that's okay. We'll just park it out the back.
Yep.
But if it's going, we want to put fuel in it. So,
Yep.
so let's have a look. So anyway, Peter brought the car in. Up it went on the air jacks. I put fuel in. Bonnet came up. And here's Mal looking at it. Oh, what we had was we had a departure from standard. We put a set of Group A champion plug leads on them. They were bright blue.
Oh, okay, yes.
And behind the power steering reservoir, there is a hot spot because the air is turbulating behind the power steering pump.
Yep.
So two leads had come together and melted
Oh, okay.
together.
Yeah,
So
right.
what it meant was the ignition was cross-firing.
Firing, yes. It would have
So we had a 6-cylinder.
been. Oh, of
not an
course.
8.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, Mal's gone, hold it, let me go and get some spares. So remember I said we had a spare SS
yes.
sitting in the garage. Mal had to part the crowd like Moses in the Red Sea because everybody's wanting an auto. Everybody's looking, cramming all the cars in, Brock's in,